Meanwhile, the United Nations Independent Expert on the Enjoyment of All Human Rights of Older Persons, Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights, Geneva, Dr. Claudia Mahler, has drawn attention of Nigerian government to the prevailing issues bedeviling older people in Nigeria as she calls for more inclusion of vulnerable population and social services. Dr. Mahler disclosed this at the briefing meeting with high-level government officials on preliminary findings of her visit to 12 states in Nigeria and recommendations in Abuja. Again, Benedict Uku now reports.
The United Nations independent expert on a visit to Nigeria assessed social security and protection, care provision, elder abuse, age discrimination and ageism, amongst others. According to her findings and recommendations, older persons should be given meaningful participation in the labor force and in public space. At the debriefing meeting with high-level government officials today in Abuja, Dr. Claudia Mahler called for the establishment of strong, inclusive and steady social protection system, including the payment of pension allowances to all older persons.
I was informed that many older persons wait for a long time, sometimes years, sometimes at the offices, especially in rural areas, to get their allowances. And very often they do not manage to get this kind of social security in time. This is why I also urge the federal government to step up its efforts to ensure the establishment of a strong, inclusive and steady social protection system, including the payment of pension and allowances to all older persons who are entitled. When the older persons are in need of care, they regularly go to the general hospitals because many of the doctors and nurses are not aware how to deal with specific issues in old age. And I was also told that in practice they are waiting for a very long time to see a doctor and also face bureaucratic obstacles to get the right treatment. I was also informed that even though they are entitled by law to get the medication for free, this does not happen in practice. So these are a couple of issues I came across, and this is why I also urge the government to build an age-friendly healthcare service in the current context. And I also want to once again raise awareness that they need to implement the strategic plan, which is already there, to ensure immediate access to all necessary health care for older persons, the right treatment for that. Another issue which I come across worldwide is ageism and age discrimination. But I can assure you from my perspective as a human rights person, older persons are entitled to human rights till the end of their life. I also welcome that the National Senior Citizen Center is working very closely with stakeholders on the ground, with grassroots, to get first-hand information and to bring their programs to the older persons. I think this is key for implementation.
The National Senior Citizens Center, being the focal agency on aging and older persons in Nigeria, the Director General NSCC, Omokaro, noted that the briefing is key towards boosting Nigeria's Global Age Watch Index going forward, amongst other positive expectations for the country.
Basically, on two accounts, this is an encouragement to boost the momentum that is now in Nigeria, in the areas that Nigeria is doing very well. Listened so far from the report I have received that we are looking at. When it comes to policy framework, Nigeria is on top of it. Because without the policy, the legal, the institutional framework, and a dedicated agency, you have not even begun to articulate the challenges. So what is she saying? She's saying extensive commitment to building capacity for democracies. She's seen extensive commitment to put down the institutional structures, the stakeholders' engagement, and then she has seen extensive, political commitment to continue progressing to increase these efforts.
As the most populous country in Africa, Nigeria's population is increasingly aging, and older persons are projected to represent a significant portion of the society by 2050. Dr. Ma urged stakeholders to see older people as right holders and expedite efforts in advocacy.